Hey everyone, my name is Gelby and you are watching Over WK, where we talk about everything audio and the many theories behind it. Today we are going to talk about an important mixing concept that some of you may be familiar with, which is loudness. Theorists would define loudness as an attribute of auditory sensation in which sound can be ordered on a scale from quiet to loud. In other words, loudness is the subjective perception of sound pressure. The ITU would refer to the concept as the relative loudness of different segments of reproduced sounds. This includes cinema and streaming. There are a few terms to keep in mind when we speak of loudness: LKFS or LUFS, true peak, and also the crest factor, which is often referred to as PLR. LKFS is simply loudness K-weighted relative to full scale. It's a standard measuring unit which we use in music streaming. LUFS is virtually the same as LKFS. It was just introduced in EBU R128. True peak is the maximum value, positive or negative, in the continuous time domain. This was introduced to address the fact that true peak may occur between samples. You're probably wondering, how does this get me better mixes? For this, let's see a few examples together. To demonstrate this, we will use Insight 2 by Isotope. You can see the plugin has a number of windows. For now, we will focus on those 3 meters. There are 3 types of measurements. Number 1, momentary loudness. This is averaged over 300 milliseconds. 2, short-term loudness. This is measured over a period of about 3 seconds. You can see that both measure pretty close to each other. Often than not, short-term loudness will measure a bit more since it measures over a longer period. Number 3, the program loudness, which is sometimes referred to as integrated loudness. This is the measure of level across the full program. It is averaging the entire length of the recording. You can also see this across the histogram. Finally, what I would like to show you is the peak to RMS value. You can use this to show you the peak to average level. You can use this to help you better understand the kick and bass relationship, for example. In our example right now, you notice that we have a fairly small crest factor in the choruses. This tells you that the peaks are not too loud compared to the average level. On the other hand, if you notice that you have a high crest factor, that might mean that the peaks are a bit too loud compared to the average level, which could mean that the kick is a little bit too hot. We may want to find a way to control the level of the kick drum using EQ or compression. So, it's important to understand that proper metering is a great strategy against subjective perception. You can always trust your meters to be your go-to check-in. However, it doesn't replace critical listening, whether you're working with peak level, RMS level, crest factor, or any. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope this gave you some information to use in your mixes. If you want to know more, feel free to leave a comment or reach out directly to me. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing. Thanks very much and happy mixing.